Hi, welcome to Tech Bytes. This is Garrett. Today we're starting the first of a series that I'm going to do on social networks. You've probably heard that term before. That stands for any website that is based on social interaction. Like, for instance, you've got Facebook, you've got MySpace, and today we're going to be covering Twitter. So what is Twitter? Twitter is kind of a phenomenon on the internet because on the surface it seems like it serves very little purpose, but once you get involved you'll find out that Twitter is probably one of the most relevant social networks, simply because it has absolutely no fluff. The only thing it does, it lives for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is asking you the question and your friends, what are you doing? That's it. You try to do this at least once every 24 hours, maybe more, and everybody who follows you on Twitter will know exactly what you're doing. So if you're going to be taking a plane trip tomorrow, you can simply type in Twitter, just getting ready to get on my plane, and all of your friends, be it 6 or 62, all of them will know what you're doing. It's probably the best way to communicate with people about just the smaller things that you're up to. So, with that, let's get started. You can click the green button to get an account. It's very easy, so I'm not going to cover it here. Simply type in your username and password that you want to have and you're ready to go. And then, when you come back to the website, just enter your name here and you're ready to go. I'm going to pause the video real quick while I enter in my credentials. And I'm in. Alright, so this is the first screen that you'll be greeted with anytime you log into Twitter. This is your home page. Now, the main things on this page that you need to be aware of is this top box here, where it says, what are you doing, followed by a box. You can enter anything in here to update everybody on Twitter about what you're doing. So, for instance, I'm going to put recording a Tech Bytes video about Twitter. Now, I hit update, and it adds it to my timeline for other people to see. Alright, so there's 3 main tabs here. They're pretty simple to look at. Archives is everything you've done in the past. Replies are when people have sent specific Twitters to you, which doesn't actually happen a whole lot. And recent just shows what's been going on recently. This is the most relevant tab. For instance, I can see the message that I just entered. And I can also see messages from my friends who have been updating to let me know and everybody else on their list what's been going on. Let's head over to Find and Follow. This is where you'll find people that you actually want to follow. Now, I'm assuming here that you have no friends at this point, not in real life, but in Twitter. So what you would do is you'd come to this Find and Follow link, and then you would enter in your email. Hopefully you have one of these, followed by your password, and it will take your data of your address book, and it explicitly says that it does not store it, it's just a one-time only thing. And it'll look for anybody that it knows of on your address book that are currently on Twitter so that you can follow them. If there's nobody on Twitter that you know, then you can also enter their email address here, and Twitter will send them an invitation so you guys can get started. Another way to find people to follow, if you're not particularly looking for your direct friends, is to hit the public timeline. Basically here you can see just about everything that happens on Twitter. It happens so fast it's hardly useful. But as you scroll through, you might see somebody who looks interesting, who's talking about something that you're interested in. So let's say, alright, well, I'm not really interested in wines, but this person is. Let's say I was interested in wines. All I'd have to do is click this person's name, which in this case is Winecast, and it will take me to their Twitter page. Once I'm on their Twitter page, I can see what else they've talked about on their recent timeline here. And if I like them, then I simply click the follow button, and it will add them to my Twitter account so I can see them on my main page. I can also click the With Others tab to see the conversation that's ongoing between them and other people that they know on Twitter, where I can find even more people. And all I have to do is click their names to go to their Twitter pages. One other thing that bears mentioning, you have a stats area here on the right. It shows everything about you. You have your current Twitter, you've got your name, what's going on with your notifications. Right now I don't have anything set. And down here, the things that you want to pay attention to are following. That's how many people you're following. In this case, it's 13 for me. and your followers. Those are people that are following you. Now you can click either of these to actually see the list of people. And the only reason you'd want to do this, besides feeling really good about yourself, would be either to find somebody so you can go visit their Twitter, or you can click the block button to take them off their list. If somebody's following you and you don't want them to follow you, you click block. Also, you can see your followers' little thumbnails right here at the bottom. And it looks like you can even search here too, if you know who you're looking for. For instance, if you were looking for me, my tag in Twitter is Garrett V. And if you do a search on that, you may be able to find me inside of Twitter. And when you find me, simply click my name and hit follow, which will be underneath my name. Obviously, I can't follow myself. And you'll be able to see my Twitters. Alright, so another thing that bears mentioning here in Twitter is the settings area, and this will be the last thing we'll do today. Now, normally when you go into the settings area, you'll start off in the account area where you can control your email and your name and all the different things about you. I went ahead and skipped that tab because it's self-explanatory and it also contains my private data, so there's no reason to expose that. But the next thing you'll probably want to do is go to the phone and IM area. There's some important stuff here. Now see, Twitter would be kind of silly and not all that useful if you had to come to the website every single time you wanted to know what somebody was doing or you wanted to update Twitter. Luckily, there are two very good options for doing this while you're not at this website. First is your mobile phone, which is arguably the best. You simply type in your number, and again, be careful because if you don't have a good data plan for your phone and Twitter's always sending you updates, it might start incurring fees, so you want to be careful about that. My phone has an unlimited data plan, so I can turn this on without worrying. Anyway, so you put your number in there, and then you'll be getting messages on your phone whenever your Twitter's updated. This is absolutely cool, because then you can see what people are doing on Twitter from your phone when you're not even at your computer. Great way to stay on top of your friends if you're obsessive about that sort of thing. Another thing you can do, which is maybe a little bit better in terms of it doesn't follow you around everywhere you go, is your instant messenger. Simply choose one of these clients. Gtalk is probably the easiest to get on. And type in your address. And it sets it up so that you can get updates via instant messenger, which this is absolutely great because you can see what everybody's doing through a normal instant messaging screen just like you're used to if you use an instant messenger. And you can update it the same way. You simply reply in there and it updates it on your Twitter account. Last two things to mention. Picture. This is sort of important. I mean, you want to have a little icon that represents you so when people are looking through their Twitters, they can see you right away. It's also good just because you can have a little bit of pride over that and you make your picture as cool, as stupid as you want, whatever you want to communicate. And lastly, in the design area, and this is where we all get to be kind of a little bit artistic, is here you can choose the background file that you want to have in your Twitter. So for instance, if I wanted to change it, I would click Choose File, and I would go somewhere on my computer where I could find something I want to put in the background. Like let's say I want to put this picture off my cell phone of the San Diego Bay. Alright, and then I hit save. It will actually change the background of my Twitter page to show my image in the background. Now this one's actually quite ugly, so I wouldn't recommend that you use little shots off your cell phone, but if you've got a nice wallpaper or something that you like to use on your computer, that would probably be the way to go. So that's kind of the basics of Twitter. There's a lot more you can do with it, and I mean a lot. For those of you who are savvy to that sort of thing, there's also RSS feeds in Twitter, and that can be very, very handy. You could even use Twitter to update your blogs, update your status on Facebook. I mean, you name it. Twitter's a very handy tool. But at its core, it's great for just one thing. What are you doing? So go ahead, go add me on Twitter, go see what I'm doing, and if I like you, maybe I'll add you too. So that concludes our first look at the social networks. We'll see you next time for the next episode of Tech Bytes. Thanks for watching.